Now we are going to have a look at the remove link or button. If we go back to our editor, go back to our core.js, before our add new or after our add new, I'm going to create this new code here above our add new button. So I'm going to start with remove. We're going to use a live function, and we're going to look for the click trigger, then function. And inside of this function, we're going to first assign the element which has been triggered to the variable called trigger. So trigger equals this. So we know which link has been clicked. Then we have another variable with the ID equals this. And we take attribute rel. We assign to this variable, which basically stores the index of the specific record. So we know which record needs to be removed. Then we go for get JSON, and we will call mod remove.php file, which we'll create soon. Then we pass one parameter, which is ID, and the ID, obviously, which is the variable. Then we use a callback function, data, which we get from the, okay, we can close it here, and after this we return false. Okay, so inside our get JSON, first of all, we're going to create a variable called rows, and it's going to be tbl repeat tr. We put all of the table rows from this table to this rows, assign them to the rows variable, and we want to find out how many of them is there, so we use the length parameter. Okay, now if rows is more than 2, and now why am I checking for 2 rather than 1? The reason why I'm checking for 2 rather than 1, I'm just going to type this else here, is because we have always the first row, which are the headings. Obviously, we don't care about headings because headings aren't really the records. So we need to check for 2 if there's headings and the record within the table. So we've got 2 rows, so we need to check whether there are 2 rather than 1. So if it's the last record, then what we're going to do is trigger dot closest tr. Obviously, sorry, if I'm checking whether there are more than 2, then obviously that means that there are more than just records in a table itself. So the closest tr, we want to fade out at the speed of 300, and then as a callback function, we're going to remove the specific row. This remove. Once it's faded out, we can remove it completely. Now, if there's only 1 record, which means there's actually 2 tables only in a table, 2 table rows in a table, then we're going to use table repeat fade out, which means we're fading out the entire table, 300, and then we have callback function. Once this has been done, the callback function will create first, we first created a variable called msg for message, and the message will say there are currently no records available, and closing paragraph. And now we can do table wrapper, which is our div which wraps the table. We're going to hide it, then HTML message fade in at 300. Okay, so that should fade in the message once the table has faded out. Obviously, now next step is to create this remove.php file. So we'll have a look at this in the next video.